Forget everything you think you know about pregnancy. Seriously, this isn't some gentle 9-month cruise. It's a hardcore sci-fi epic. It's a story of war and peace and some seriously intense compromise.
I know. Calling a baby a cute tumor sounds pretty shocking, right? But it actually gets to a fundamental truth. The story of how we're made isn't just beautiful, it's also unbelievably brutal. It is a fight for survival from the very first second.
And that's really the heart of it. This isn't some abstract biology lesson about a process that happens to other people. This is your story. It's the story of the desperate, high-stakes battle you won before you even had a brain to know you were in a fight.
Okay, so our story starts with what is, without a doubt, the greatest race in the universe. An absolutely impossible competition, against staggering odds. And you were the champion.
It all kicks off with an army of tens of millions, all deployed on a mission with a super tight deadline. From the second they start, they're running out of fuel and they're dying. But honestly, that is the absolute least of their problems.
The journey is basically through a fortress with 3 deadly layers of defense. The first wave dies almost instantly inside what you could call the acidic fortress. The ones that survive that, they run straight into a treacherous maze of mucus, a thick web of protein nets just designed to trap and entangle millions more. And for the few stragglers that somehow get past that, well, they're met by the immune patrol, the mother's own cells hunting down and eating any that look weak. It is an absolutely brutal selection process.
But there is a tiny glimmer of hope. If the timing is absolutely perfect, right during ovulation, the body actually helps out a little bit. It becomes less hostile, and it even releases some chemicals to help guide the way for the absolute strongest contenders.
So after all that, out of the tens of millions that started, how many actually make it? The survival rate is it's mind-bogglingly low. Less than 0.00001% even get close. We're talking about maybe a few dozen survivors reaching the final goal, the egg. The odds are just astronomical. But winning that race, that's just the beginning. The newly formed embryo now faces a completely different challenge. This is no longer a race. It's more like a tense diplomatic invasion, a high-stakes negotiation where one wrong move means it's all over.
So immediately, the embryo splits into 2 specialized teams. One team of cells is destined to become you, the baby. The other team, these things called trophoblasts, they basically become your guardian angel clone. Their only purpose is to build a temporary organ, the placenta, and make your existence possible before they die right after you're born. They literally sacrifice themselves for you.
So, how does this tiny little clump of cells, which is technically now a foreign object, convince a powerful body to not destroy it but to actually host it and protect it for 9 months? Well, the answer is a very delicate and very intense conversation.
It's this intense chemical dialogue. The embryo starts sending out dozens of chemical messages, basically shouting, "Hello, I'm here, please let me attach so I can survive," and the uterus responds with its own signals, judging the quality of that conversation. If it isn't convinced that the embryo is viable, it's just gone.
But here's where it gets wild. The embryo doesn't just ask nicely. This is a life-or-death situation. It gets aggressive. It deploys thousands of these infiltration units, little bubbles of genetic material that act kind of like a human virus, to invade the uterine cells and basically brainwash them into helping it attach.
And this invasion becomes the next big test. The embryo drills into the uterine wall like a tiny parasitic octopus, and it even orders some of the mother's cells to self-destruct to make way. The mother's body is watching this whole invasion very, very carefully. If an embryo has genetic damage, it's metabolically noisy and it gets rejected. If it's too weak, it's metabolically quiet and it just gets ignored. Only the just right embryo, the one showing perfect health and strength, is accepted.
So, you passed the test. You've proven you were worth it. Now your guardian angel clone, those other cells, gets to work building the fortress that's going to be your home for the next 9 months.
And this is where things get truly strange. The very same immune system that was trying to kill you just moments ago, it completely switches sides. It surrounds the embryo, creating this chemical and physical safe zone, telling its most dangerous killer cells, hey, stay away from this one. From attacker to protector in the blink of an eye.
This all leads to the creation of the placenta.
which you have to understand is an organ that you grew inside your mother, it kept you alive, and then it was ejected and died a silent death while everyone was busy welcoming you into the world. Its entire existence was just for you.
This incredible temporary organ has two critical jobs. It's a provider, tapping right into the mother's blood supply to funnel energy and nutrients directly to you. And at the same time, it's a protector, a fortress, with its own little mini immune system, shielding you from any threats.
But it's not all peaceful cooperation. There's this constant conflict of interest playing out. The father's genes in a fetus want survival at any cost, so they demand maximum resources. But the mother's genes, they want to support the new life, but not if it jeopardizes her own survival. So the placenta will release hormones to literally steal energy from the mother for the fetus, sometimes pushing so hard it can lead to things like gestational diabetes. It's a really delicate, high-stakes tug of war.
So when you just zoom out and you look at the whole picture, from that insane sperm race all the way to this genetic tug of war, you realize that your existence is nothing short of a brutal, beautiful miracle.
You were not a passive passenger in this story. From the very beginning, you fought. You survived an unbelievably deadly obstacle course. You passed a series of brutal tests. You outsmarted a powerful system just to claim your right to exist.
But that's only one side of it. You also had to be chosen. Chosen by the egg that allowed you to merge with it. Chosen by your mother's body that decided it liked the way you spoke to her through chemicals, and then decided to protect and care for you, gifting you an incredible amount of her own energy to bring you into this world.
So think about that. You survived the most dangerous journey anyone can ever take, and you did it before you even took your first breath. You fought, and you were chosen. The life you have right now is the prize. So, the only question left is, what are you going to do with it?